Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Today I have kind of a sensitive topic to talk about with you all, but I definitely feel like it's a necessary topic. Let's talk about how racism, discrimination, and inequality, just social justice, really impacts our mental health. I really feel like in recent events, this is probably one of the topics that a lot of people are working through. I'm in the same predicament. I have a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings about the changes that have been made since we have our new president. And so I really want to have this candid conversation with you all and just talk about it, but also give you some resources on how to navigate these changes and how to work through them as they're happening in real time. So let's just jump into it. What does mental health and social justice have to do with each other? Mental health and social justice are two topics that are often discussed separately, but somehow they have been intertwined and very deeply intertwined. Mental health refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, while social justice refers to promotion of equality, fairness, human rights, our dignities that are given. And so when we experience social injustices such as racism, discrimination, and inequality, it can have a profound effect on our mental health. Speaking of just the impact of racism in itself, so racism is a significant social justice issue. As you all can see, just in the country, there's a lot of division, a lot of racism, just a lot of hatred, just a lot of negative energy that is transpiring between people and individuals. And so it's so easy to get caught up in that experience, but to actually get consumed by it as well with so much exposure through social media, the news, things we hear on the radio. It's like we're in overload of it, and that impacts our anxiety. It causes panic and it causes fear. And so that really impacts your mental well-being, because now, like, how am I supposed to work through the normal daily challenges that I have on top of the worldly challenges that I have? And so tagging on to that, we add in discrimination. And so discrimination is another social justice issue that can really have a significant impact, where individuals discrimination may feel marginalized or excluded or stigmatized. There's already the stigma of having mental health, let alone other stigmas that are associated with just you being who you are. We don't wake up and decide what color we're going to be. We don't have that choice. And so to be discriminated against based on something that you have no control over, I have no control over me being born a female or being born African American. Like, that was out of my control. But to be judged according to that is not fair to me. And so things like that, when they happen, they can really lead to some anxiety, depression, even PTSD. I mean, some things really have traumatically happened to people being discriminated against, and you're fearful of your life, you're fearful of your safety, you're fearful for your family. And so, again, that feeds into your mental health, and that you might start to isolate. You don't want to mingle with people from other cultures or other races because you don't know if it's safe to do so. You may not feel safe to be who you are. And so a lot of this plays into your mental health. So let's talk about inequality. Again, that's another social injustice issue that really has a profound effect on your mental health. But individuals who experience inequality may feel powerless, hopeless, frustrated. Again, those things lead to anxiety, depression, and stress, which could further exacerbate all the other mental health issues that you may have. You may already struggle with depression or anxiety, just in other elements of your life. And so having that feeds on to what you're already struggling with. And the one thing about mental illness is it does not discriminate. It doesn't care how educated you are. It doesn't care what color your skin is, or if you're married, if you're single, if you have a thriving life, or if you're a hermit crab at home. It touches everyone, and it touches us all differently. And so our goal is to promote social justice while also trying to improve your mental health. And how can we do that? And there are some key things that we can do to do that. First, we must acknowledge the intersection of mental health and social justice. Make that a thing. Make that a known thing, because people really don't realize the correlation between the two. We must recognize that these social injustices exist. Racism is alive and it's existing. Discrimination is a thing. Inequality is a thing, and they can have a profound effect on your mental health and your quality of life. We also must promote social justice by advocating for policies that are going to protect us and also give us fairness. We need to promote human rights. We need to promote fairness across the board, but we need to be proactive in these things to see the change that we want. All the while you're advocating and standing firm in your beliefs, take care of yourself. What are your support systems? Get therapy. Talk about this. I'm in therapy. I am not ashamed to say that I am in therapy. As a mental health provider, I need therapy because, again, there's a lot of challenges that are coming my way. And so, in order for me to be the best version of myself, I need to take care of myself. And so, I practice what I'm preaching to you all. And so, having good self care routines in place, know when to cut it off. I do not watch the news. We do not watch the news in this household unless there's something going on with the weather. Then we may be in tune to that. But news can be one sided and can be misleading. Thinking about it's all about who can break the story first, whether it's true or not. So just listening with a filtered mindset is essential to making sure that you don't become overwhelmed with so much that's going on. Limit social media. Again, it's kind of like the same thing. People sharing things, whether they're facts checked or not, but it's all tactics to try to cause panic or scare you, or people just confuse themselves and they're just sharing what they know, but nobody knows if it's true or not, or the magnitude of what's going on. So limit your social media. Spend time with people that are filling your cup, that pour back into you, that are a safe space for you to talk about some of the things that you're experiencing. It's okay if you have a difference of opinion with your friends. That's fine. But y'all should be comfortable enough to talk about that. You should have a space to be able to ask your questions or get a better understanding of some of their thoughts behind some of the changes. You want to have that safe zone to do so. And if you don't have people in your life that you can be safe to be who you are, then what other safe spaces do you have? Do you journal? Do you practice gratitude, which is one of my favorite things? And I'll link my video about gratitude journaling in this video so you can check that out. But, you know, thinking about those other ways in which we can release some of this negative energy. Are you one that likes to exercise? I frequently practice deep breathing techniques. So in the moments where I'm very overwhelmed and I'm consumed, I stop and pause in the moment and just kind of regroup, be in the moment, which is practicing mindfulness and getting my center of gravity. Check out the mentalhealthdetox.com. I have some free resources on there that you can download, that you can share and use to your advantage. Share with your friends, use it with your kids, but grounding techniques to help you just kind of get back in the moment, but also some techniques to help you manage anxiety. I got a list of 100 coping skills for anxiety. And so check that out. Again, free resources that will help you kind of work through all this, because the country is changing whether we wanted to or not. Things are getting very intense, and so it's important that we try to remain ourselves steadfast, but also have the tools and resources that we need so we can adapt with the change as it happens, but also advocate for yourself and for your community and the people that you love. So I hope that you found this video informative. Again, I just wanted to have a candid conversation with you all about just some of the things that are going on, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.